Can I tell you a secret? I'm not feeling grateful, but I guess we'll do a gratitude show. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Client Whisperer Show. I'm your host, Tony Banta, and I am the Client Whisperer. I've spent over a decade running multiple 6- and 7-figure client businesses, and I've learned that the secret to success in a client business comes down to one thing: leadership. Bad client behavior is the enemy, and with the right curriculum, infrastructure, and mindset, you can lead your clients to great success and scale your business the easy way.
No, I'm just not. It's going to be the starkest contrast in energy level between that intro music and what I have to say right now. It's the gratitude episode. I've even delayed recording it because I'm not feeling grateful. I'm feeling pissed off. I'm feeling frustrated. It's been one of the hardest years of my adult life, if I'm being honest. I was plagued with health issues that, for me personally, that I didn't know could get worse. We lost a number of people. We lost my father towards the end of the year. Just a couple episodes ago, I talked about it. I lost one of my mentors and the first coach I ever hired. And there was another friend of mine from high school that we lost. We lost a few cousins. It was just a tough year. I also had a business partnership that fell apart, that crumbled. And I'm not really going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about the deaths or the health issues either. But as I zoom out, I'm struck by sadness. I'm struck by the struggle that the year has been and how, if I'm being honest, I expected it to be different. I expected it to be better. Or at the very least, I expected all of the pain to mean something. And when it doesn't, man, I'm angry. I have this cocktail of feelings and of being angry, of being sad that I didn't do more. I'm angry at the doctor who didn't take very good care of my dad. I'm angry at my dad for not taking better care of his health. I even got angry last week at the general manager of a car dealership that was ripping my mom off. And I should be angry at them. My mom's a sweet lady, and they were taking advantage. But none of that matters. Certainly none of that is going to change where I am now or where I'm feeling. So I guess the title of this episode really should be How to Be Grateful Even When It's Hard. How to be grateful even when I'm feeling self-absorbed. Because that's what all that is. My dad always said he wanted to live life on his own terms. And he was okay if his life was shorter because of it. It was my expectation that things would work out differently, or that people would do their job differently. My mom, even with a car dealership, she's a she's an attorney. She's been practicing for decades. I think she hates it when I emphasize the decades part. But she has a lifetime of experience sticking up for other people. She didn't need me to stick up for her. It was my expectation of how everyone in that situation would behave that made me angry. And my health, while frustrating, has led me to, I have a great episode about this coming up in a couple weeks, talking about how my health, in combination with our daughter being born, has forced me to look at my time and be really critical about that. Be really specific about what I'm going to spend time on and what I'm not going to spend time on. And yeah, I just said that. My daughter was born. And she was born with our doctor, who we've come to be quite close with, my wife's doctor, who we've come to be quite close with, there with us, holding our hand, ultimately performing the surgery, taking great care of her. 100 years ago, heck, 50 years ago, it wouldn't be a statistical certainty that my wife and my baby would be okay. That would be a toss-up. And they are. They're great. There are people who don't have cars, let alone luxury cars, that require expensive service and are prone to being ripped off. There are people who don't have that. At another time in our lives, in our career, she didn't have a car that was that nice. So it's all relative. And it's really easy to focus on the things that are tough. It's really easy to get bogged down in the things that hurt and the pain that's there. It's even easy for us to develop systems and patterns around it. It's easy for us to be stabbed in the back by a client and take the attitude of, hey, I'm not gonna ever let a client do that again, right? How many people I've had clients who have taken their curriculum and then tried to offer it. We actually just had that happen for the first time with a client of ours a while ago. And inevitably, you know what happened? We got more clients because of it. I got clients reaching out to me and say, yeah, this guy was trying to help us with our systems. It didn't really work, but it made us want to talk to you. How about that? It's really easy, though, to take those at face value and turn that into a calcified cynicism. To focus on the selfishness. I don't feel good about this thing. Must be someone's fault. But it's not. It's the ebbs and the flows. It's the sequence of life. Everything's a sine wave. If you've seen a sound wave, it's a perfect example. If you've seen a wave on an ocean, right? If you drop something into water and you see the ripple that happens from there, it's a sine wave. Back in if you remember from geometry, it's that wave. It goes up, it goes down. Everything in life follows that pattern. We're on a sine wave pattern around the sun. The sun's rays are in a sine wave pattern as they're shooting through shooting through space and ultimately hit our atmosphere. Sine wave. The wind blows in sine waves. The temperatures go up and down to the seasons in sine waves. And all of our sales numbers go up and down. If you look at the leaf tree out the window, or even the leaf right over there, as the air blows in the room, those leaves sway to a sine wave. Everything in life happens with sine waves. We don't know. I don't know why. You could ask a quantum physicist to help explain it, but that's a little outside of my scope. But what I do know is that there are always sine waves. And if we take those lows that hurt, they do. I have a year of bruises and scars to show for it. Even as I'm recording this, I'm a little teary thinking about it. If we take the lows and we only focus on those parts and we try and optimize to never feel those lows, sometimes we can work super hard at that and totally forget the fact that the highs are right around the corner. I have a much younger sister, and she took our dad's death really hard. I have siblings ranging from, at least half siblings, ranging from 7 to 48, I think, at the time of this recording. And it's a modern family for you. But I have a much younger sister, and she took our dad's passing really hard. And I could focus on that. I could focus on the injustice of that. And I have. I've been angry at that. Like I said, I've been angry at the doctor. I've even been angry at myself that I didn't do more for him. And I've also been angry at God for letting all of it happen. But then I see her struggling. And my mom got a dog so that she would have this furry creature to take care of. And this dog is crazy. My sister even says so. I think her favorite term for the dog's name is Rosie. Her favorite term for Rosie is nutcase. And if you've never heard a 7-year-old call a dog a nutcase, you're missing out, my friend. Because she's there taking responsibility. She's there caring about Rosie. She's there caring that Rosie's taken out, that she has enough to eat, that she's okay. I could focus on the low, or I could focus on that high. Where here's this 7-year-old who's the opposite of selfish. I could focus on the low of the tough parts of the year, or I could focus on the high that I became a dad. I could focus on the selfishness, or I could focus on the gratitude. And the gratitude is a lot of great things happen this year. We had another record revenue year, again, for the third year in a row. Had some rebuilding 3 years ago. But we had another record year of revenue. We continue to have really great systems that we're rolling out. We continue to have great client successes. We have some of the biggest client successes this year. Our top one might have been we doubled a client's retention in about 2 weeks. I have also been able to start this podcast. I started the year with a false start on a podcast. I thought I was going to start one. We tried to do some things in the middle of the year, but this one's going strong. We're a few weeks in. This is our 11th episode. And I'm really grateful that I get to do that for all of you, that I get to do that with all of you who are listening. Even in our soft launch, we topped 80 listeners in a week. Just with the soft launch. I think I made one Facebook post announcement. Didn't even email it out to our list. But in January, we're gonna be what's the opposite of a soft launch? A hard launch? We're gonna be hard launching in January. We're gonna be expanding that even more. We're gonna be ramping up our newly revised audits and providing client fulfillment audits. Why? Because there are a lot of programs out there where if we can improve their success rate just a little bit, we dramatically increase those clients' profit. And we increase the number of lives that those clients are able to change. We ran some of the numbers, and there were something like 400 and change lives, 400 and some odd lives that we were able to impact directly, measurable impact through our curriculum changes and things like that. That was me directly. If we expand that out to people who just took courses or things like that from us, the number is even greater. And if that's not a blessing, if that's not something to be grateful for, then I don't know what is. And I feel that gratitude. But I also feel the sadness. I also feel everything else. I also, lately, have been a little bit pissed at the notion that it's the end of the year and I should be grateful. Because sometimes I don't think that other people understand how it feels to have had this much loss. To feel this kicked in the stomach in a year. But that's selfish. That's me focusing on how I feel. And there's a difference in there between self-care and self-pity. I try and do as much of the first as I can. I make sure to make time for myself and do all of that, and I'm getting better at that. I have some friends and some advisors who remind me of that, sometimes gentler than others. You know who you are, who help hold me accountable to that, and I'm super grateful for that. I try to avoid the latter of the self-pity. Because the self-pity focuses on the downs of the sine wave. Gratitude focuses on the top, the highs. And we know what we focus on, we get more of. That shouldn't be a mystery to anyone in this program, listening to this program. But if it is, we get more of what we focus on, period. It's why so many of our clients, just by taking an audit, see their client results get better without even consciously doing anything different. Because they're looking at it, they're paying attention to it, they're focusing on it. So, which do you want to focus on? I'm asking that of myself, in case you were wondering. Which do you want to focus on, Tony? And when I'm faced with that, I want to focus on the highs. I want to focus on the amazing contributions, not the mistakes. I want to focus on the amazing gifts that I've been given, not the people that. And I want to focus on the opportunities that are there, not the losses that we may have had in the past. These have been my meandering thoughts on gratitude, because this was tough. And I wanted to be a little bit more vulnerable in sharing some of this because I don't think it's helpful not to. I was writing the notes. I always have a little routine that I go through to prepare for an episode, especially a solo episode. And I was writing some notes down. I'm like, oh, yeah, I could say I'm gratitude. I could say I'm grateful for this person. I could say I'm grateful for this person. I could run through the list. I'm grateful for this. And it felt fake. Because through a big chunk of this year, I haven't been grateful. I've been resentful AF. I've been hurt. And that's okay for a little while. It's okay to feel those feelings, is what I've decided for myself. It's okay to make that decision, to be in that mode for a little bit, to even maybe feel a little sorry for myself. A little bit. But I'm done now. It's the end of the year. In just a couple days, it's going to be the new year. It's going to be 2020. And while I don't want to give you a fake, whitewashed listing of the things that I'm grateful for, I do want to say I'm choosing gratitude. I'm choosing to look forward. I'm choosing the lessons, not the losses. Because there's a lot of work left to be done. And I think more than anything else, as much as it doesn't always feel like this is the case, I'm grateful for the work. I'm grateful for the challenge. I'm grateful for the resistance. Because that's what builds the strength. It's what builds the muscle. It's what builds the character. It's what helps get us ready for what's coming. In the old book, A Tale of Two Cities, Dickens writes the famous line, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times." I believe the best of times are ahead of us. I also think we're going to have to fight to get it. And fighting, hopefully, doesn't mean with our fists or with guns or any of that, although certainly in some parts of the world that might not be true always. We're privileged not to have to be on those front lines, the majority of us and our listeners and those who are, you're in my prayers and Godspeed. But for the majority of us, the fight isn't going to be with guns. It's not going to be with violence. The fight is inside. The fight is on what we choose to focus on. The fight is on the very real struggle that there are a lot of people out there who don't do a good job. And we have to find a way to be okay with that anyway. We have to take personal responsibility, but not take responsibility for other people's responsibility. We have to forgive, but not forget the lessons that we need to know. And that's all a fight. And if we do that, if we get okay with that, if we get okay with the lows and letting go of the resistance and the judgment and those things that we have to it, and I'm saying this to myself just as much as I'm saying this to you. If we get good at that, then we will usher in the best of times. But the best of times aren't going to be here without the worst of them. So for me, gratitude doesn't mean ignoring all of the struggles. It means celebrating everything that's happened because of them. It doesn't mean letting people off the hook, but it does mean who have wronged, me or my family. It doesn't mean letting them off the hook, but it does mean forgiving them. It does mean not letting that control me. Being grateful means that I'm going to celebrate everything that Laura taught me, even more than I'm going to mourn the fact that I can't call her for advice anymore. Gratitude means that I'm believing that there is more to this life than I can see or know. And taking comfort. Finding some degree of acceptance. So, I hope this has been helpful. I hope this isn't just the rambling of someone who's had a tough year. If you've had a tough year, you're not alone. And reach out if you want to be positive, because I don't need any company to celebrate misery with. And if you're still in that spot, maybe look for what you can be grateful for too, because that's what's helping me to look back and to see the good things and the bad things through a lens of hope. I want to celebrate every good thing and bad this year. The bad turns into lessons. The good turns into really great things. And I want to celebrate all of it. And I want to celebrate you. I want to celebrate every single person who's willing to get up every day as a professional. I was just listening to an episode of a podcast with Seth Godin, and he talked about the difference between a hobbyist and a professional. And if you are a professional coach, if you get up out of bed every day and show up to work, even when it's hard, even when it's a struggle, even when you're close to burnout, I salute you, my friend. I toast you this year. Because it's up to us. It's up to us who are on the front lines of client work, of work with humans, to do a better job next year, to help our clients live better lives next year. We're the warriors on the front line. The best of times, I believe, are still ahead. And I'm really excited to see what that looks like. So, thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked this, make sure to let me know. Drop a note there. Hop over to the clientwhisperer.show. Just clientwhisperer.show. I always say that in different ways. Maybe I should reserve some extra domain names. Clientwhisperer.show. And, drop us a line. Don't be a stranger. Sign up for our email list. We notify about every episode. We send those out. So we'd love to be able to notify you. Sign up for that. We also are on YouTube. So if you want to watch my eyes get moist as I talk about an episode like this, you can see that on YouTube. I'm embarrassed, but it's worth it for some reason. And lastly, seriously, I salute you. I salute you and your growth and the growth that you help foster in every single one of you. So, most episodes aren't this emotional, but this one was. Next week, we are actually taking 2 full weeks off. Why? Because 3 podcast episodes a week is a lot of work. And we have some incredible things planned. We have about 12 interviews that are going to be dropping over the next 12 weeks after we come back. So we're taking the next 2 weeks off. The next episode is going to drop on Tuesday, January 14th. And you can expect to hear from us Tuesday, Wednesday with What to Say Wednesday, and Fridays for the next chunk of time after that, the next season. I'm taking some time to spend with my family, and I'm super grateful that I have the ability to do that, both in my life and with my work. So that's what's next for us. You won't see us next week, but that's okay. We're not going anywhere. If you want to listen to more of us, we have all the episodes we've recorded so far, 10 episodes before this one, so feel free to take a listen. And I will see you soon. Have a very happy New Year. Bye. Love you guys.